Hello, friends, this is Raj Kapoor, and today I'm bringing to you video number 2. And today we are going to talk about the 5 core principles of wealth building. So, let's talk about what is money. Money is a tool of trade, a medium of exchange. See, money standardizes and equalizes value. You need to start focusing on what value money can bring to you, bring to your mission, bring to your organization. See, money represents all the good things, what it can do. George Bernard Shaw said, money is the most important thing in the world. It represents health, strength, honor, generosity, and beauty as conspicuously and undeniably as the lack of it represents illness, weakness, disgrace, and ugliness. Zig Ziglar said, money is not everything, but it ranks right up there with oxygen. I believe wealth is good. Wealth has to be respected. It can fulfill dreams and help with so many causes. As a chief financial officer, I saw so many nonprofits struggle financially and then close down. The intent was great, the mission was great, but the money awareness was not there. And I believe that is a must. This may be very different from what you may have learned or what your beliefs are. I'm just stating this, what I believe. And in last 30 years working with nonprofits, I have seen that lack of finances are the most deterring factor in expanding the work. See, just imagine if you had an abundance of funds, money, what more can you do to serve people, to make your own life better, but in a sense, use the money for its worth to help others? To get the money, you first have to get the money awareness and consciousness if you don't already have it, and then understand all the aspects of money and wealth. Here's a really powerful view of wealth. Imagine what you can do with wealth, with your mission and nonprofit. And this is an excerpt from The Richest Man in Babylon, one of the most wonderful books that I have followed that has helped me in my life to overcome adversity, understand the laws of money, and really understand what money means and represents. Wealth is power. With wealth, many things are possible. One may ornament the home with the richest of furnishings. One may sail the distant seas. One may feast on the delicacies of far lands. One may buy the ornaments of gold worker and the stone polisher. One may even build mighty temples for the gods. One may also do all these things and many others in which there is delight for the senses and gratification for the soul. You see, in the times of Babylon, in the ancient times of Babylon, this is what was written, which shows you the power of money and wealth. Now think about it, as I said. What can you do with wealth and money towards your mission, for your nonprofits, and for yourself? Just let your ideas flow through and think about it. Now, you do need to have a compelling reason why you need the wealth. So just having a thought of having an abundance of wealth, well, what sort of feelings and ideas does that bring in you? What emotions do you feel? What can you do if you had all the wealth you desire right now? How can you serve people? How can you better serve people? How can you change their lives? See, imagination is really important to work with your dreams and aspirations. What you need is to build a financial plan and financial blueprint in all the areas of wealth, and that is generating wealth, saving wealth, growing your wealth, protecting your wealth, and developing successful wealth habits for yourself and for your nonprofit organization. I would say be willing to pay the price for success now and start thinking long term. Sacrifice now if you're not at the level you need to or want to be and have the future you want. See, unless your why is strong and becomes a burning desire, till then you will have a hard time to master the laws to generate wealth or attract wealth. All you will be doing is wishing. So, understanding why is more important than the how. Many people get stuck in the how. I don't have enough knowledge. I'm not educated enough. I don't know enough people. How do I do this? So the thing is, let go of the how right now. Your why, which is also your mission, becomes really important to understand. Why do you need more wealth? Think about it. Why? What can it do? Why do you want to save wealth? Why grow and protect your wealth? Think in terms of why, because if your why is really strong, then the how and what's will always come about. See, if you are at the start of your journey, and many people in nonprofit edge are actually at the inception where they want to start a new nonprofit, start a new mission, start something that they want to really do, then at the start of the journey you will need to gain momentum. Till then, it will be taking action, consistent action, learning, and moving forward. Now, if you are already established, then you can move forward much more easily. But at the start, it is doing that hard work. It is like a roller coaster. See, when the roller coaster is moving up, you can hear all the creaks, sounds, the stress it has to bear to move up. But when it reaches the top, then the rest of the ride is smooth, fast, and exhilarating. So let's go over the 5 core principles of wealth building. There are more than 5, obviously, but I want to focus on just the 5 as we go through. Because if you get and understand these 5, you at least start your journey and then you build on that. First is to pay yourself first. Pay your nonprofit first. Set up reserves. Second is develop a budget, personal and for your business. Third, start looking for ways to put your wealth and money to work. Fourth, invest in yourself and invest in your people. And fifth is you need to protect yourself. So let us discuss to prep your mindset on the 5 core steps. First, as I said, is to pay yourself. Pay your nonprofit first and set up the reserves. See, this is an important mindset to understand why you need to pay yourself first. So let's take the example of a government. Government pays itself first. You know, people who are in a job, the government takes out the taxes before you get your paycheck. And that is because they know that most of the people, if they are left to themselves at the end of the year, would not have saved enough money to pay for the taxes. So they take it out first. Do the similar analogy. Paying yourself first sets your mindset for success and wealth consciousness. Needing reserves for your organization is a must. Specifically now in times of COVID, so many organizations and businesses around the world are struggling. So be intentional about setting up reserves for the emergency and rainy day funds. Set aside a portion of the reserve in your budgets, both personally and for your organization. Now, question comes up in my coaching many times when I say pay yourself first, which is something that people have heard again and again, but most people just don't understand the concept. And the concept is this, that when you, because this is what I get asked, I'm making all the money, everything is mine. What do you mean by pay yourself first? The answer to that is that when you're earning money, you start spending the money on your food, your shelter, your clothing, and on other things that you really need. And once I talk to people, they take a look at what they're spending the money on. And what really comes about is at the end, they have literally nothing left. And so they do not know how to pay themselves first. So if you get a paycheck, if you get money in your organization, keep a portion of that first. Best thing is to automate it, that it automatically takes out of your account into a separate account so you don't see it. Ideally, I recommend 10%, at least 10%. Most of the people say they may not be able to get to that because of the loans, the debts, or they're not making that much. Start with just 1%, and then build up from there. Because that is how your mindset starts to work. Soon enough, you wouldn't even miss that money and start building your reserves. So, paying yourself first, paying your business first by setting up those reserves is of utmost importance. Number two, develop a budget that is realistic. If you don't work off a budget now, you need to. It does not matter what level you're at. The budget is always helpful. You need to know what monies you are receiving and where you are spending those. This is a great step in building that wealth mindset and a base for financially stable organization. This also helps in accountability. You now know where you're spending the money. So this becomes all the more important. Many people on their personal level do not budget. And that is where they start faltering because they do not know where the money has gone. Many organizations, which are just small, they don't develop a realistic budget. What many people I have seen in nonprofits do is that they overestimate the revenues that they might be able to generate during a year. Now, based on that, their people start spending the money based on that budget, which is unrealistic. And sometimes, or many times, when you're not able to receive those funds, get those monies, or raise those funds by fundraising, at the end of the year, you have already spent the money and you start going in losses. So develop a budget that is realistic, that you can work with, and for sure you know that you're able to get that money. But budgets really work. Budgets have to work for you. That's how important it is. Start looking for ways to put your wealth to work. Why have wealth working for you? So you have to understand that the money that you have started saving aside needs to be put to work. So money makes money for you. You have to understand here your risk tolerance and understand that investing your money is important to grow your money and wealth. It could be stock market, mutual funds, real estate, investing in a new business or something. But you first have to get comfortable with the instrument you're going to use. I always use expert advice. As it is your money and your wealth, you need to learn the basics so that you don't lose your money or wealth. But get expert advice because these people know exactly what to do. Einstein once said, the most powerful force in the universe is compound interest. Most of you have heard about compound interest. Most of you know about compound interest. But do you really know the power of compounding of interest? If you don't, I would definitely want you to go and research on that and see the earlier in life you start investing the money and it starts compounding for you, the better off you are. And there are many examples that you can find on the internet. If you're not clear on it, message me. Let's talk. And I can just give you an idea about the power of this and how you can really utilize the compounding of interest. Understand, your money needs to make money for you. In the beginning, when I had started my journey, it took me time to learn the actual depth of compounding of interest. I had heard about it, but not realized the full power of it. Understanding the full power of the compounding of interest. Specifically, if Einstein said it is the most powerful force in the universe, you can understand how your money can make money. That is really powerful. Next is investing in yourself. So invest in yourself, most important. And you need to grow as a person. Nothing equals this. This is the only investment that is going to grow you. And once your mind expands, it never comes back to where it was before. Invest in yourself, invest in your people, invest in your staff. It is powerful. Because if you will invest in your people and invest in your staff, they are going to help you grow your business. In one of my coaching sessions, one of my clients asked me, why should I invest in my people? Because if I do and they leave, I have lost the money. And I had read it somewhere and I gave that answer from what I had really found. The real thing is, if you don't invest in your people and you have them working at the level they're working right now, how are they going to help you? They are not going to help you grow your business. But when they see that you are adding value to them, adding value to yourself, I have seen organizations completely expand exponentially. So investing in yourself and investing in your people is really important. I make sure that every single day I read something, hear an audio, or watch a video just to grow myself. Feed yourself with things that you need. Really important concept. And finally, protect yourself. Insure yourself. Insure your wealth. Insure your business. There are many tools to protect yourself. Many people just ignore them. And many have come to a point where all their hard earned wealth has gone to either government or swindled by some crook. I've seen so many families fail here. See, wealth, if not used properly, can be the cause of most disputes and disagreements in families. And that is why many people start hating the money and hating the wealth, when in reality it is a tool. Earlier in my life, I was always looking for just to generate more wealth because that is where your focus is. But I never paid much attention to saving, growing, or protecting wealth. These mistakes proved to be very expensive lessons later on in my life. So always make sure that your business is adequately protected, that you have set the right sort of business that shields you against the liabilities and your staff, your people, that it safeguards them and also safeguards your personal business and your personal money. So, whose advice do you take about wealth? On generation of wealth, saving of wealth, growing your wealth, and protecting your wealth. Whose advice? I hope you're not taking advice on generating wealth from those who have not been able to generate any wealth, or about saving wealth from one who himself or herself has never saved. So you need to take advice from people who have shown what can be done with wealth. Take their advice only. But then use your judgment because ultimately it is your money, it is your wealth. See, do understand advice is given freely, but you need to be careful what advice is good for you and what you need to take. It's really important to understand that. Finally, understand that wealth is a measurement of success. It does not matter where you start. As non-profit professionals and leaders, you do understand that to run your organization, or if you want to start one, you will need money. So, understanding these concepts is of utmost importance. See, wealth loves attention, so give it the necessary attention that it does need. Now, many people and many nonprofits live from paycheck to paycheck mentality. What's a paycheck to paycheck mentality? That means you get a paycheck, and by next paycheck, you need another paycheck because you have run out of it. If you're one of those, then our programs are going to break your pattern and show you the ways how to live abundantly and how to take your nonprofit with long term sustainability. You do not want your month to be longer than your paycheck. Many people live like that and live that way, and many nonprofits I have seen are always striving to get money every single month just to survive. You don't want to be in that mode. See, wealth is everywhere. The shortage is in your mind. So, in the third and final video, we will go over important money questions in your life. And now be ready to do some exercises. Be ready with a pen and paper. Learning is one thing, but only when you take action, that is when you're going to get the results. So, friends, I will see you in the third video now and the final video where you are going to be ready to take action. This is Raj Kapoor, present here for your better future.